On a Saturday night and Sunday morning in December last year, after having seven Heineken, I decided to join Silver's Dream top 50 One Piece characters in terms of power. My top 30, which we finally reached after 4 hours, I had at first place Dracula, Hawkeye, Mihawk. Shock covered the stream, and I was then belittled by both Silver's entrance and the chat itself. My argument for Mihawk being number one was that he will be the only character that will not lose in One Piece, leading me to declare that the final fight of Zoro and Mihawk will have my favourite character Zoro dying by the end of the series, and in this video I will explain why I believe this. Zoro was the main reason I watched and read One Piece. By the end of the first episode, we see a silhouetted man with green hair, staring straight down the camera, looking and piercing the viewer's soul. This was an amazing moment and one of the reasons why I kept watching and why Zoro is my favourite character through thick and thin. Zoro will always be with Luffy, and that chemistry that they had and still do to this day, created from just episode 2, it's one of the things I praise Oda for. The most loyal of the Straw Hats, he's the perfect foil for Luffy, with his stoic personality and unfortunate comedic flaws, making him a perfect character in the world of One Piece. He is usually set up to be the straight man, but at times, especially early One Piece, he added a comedic aspect to dark moments in the series, like Water 7 and Enies Lobby. For most of the fights of pre-timeskip, Zoro was walking the thin line between living and dying. This can be seen from his fights with Mr. One to his sacrifice against Kuma. However, in post-timeskip, Zoro has not had a major challenge, with opponents barely getting a scratch in. He won against Holy Jones underwater, he silenced Monet on Punk Hazard, and he completely split Pika in 2, 4 and 6. He has not had a challenge in the post-timeskip. Many reasons why this is that he is just too strong to face the number 2 anymore. This was a common theme in pre-timeskip, as he would face the main antagonist number 2, Mr. One and Kaku being the best examples. Because Zoro has not been challenged in the New World, Wano has now become what many see as Zoro's arc, with major character developments for the Straw Hats, but especially Zoro, being revealed. We have already seen Zoro beat another supernova in Killer and faced up against Kirishio, who we now know to be Denjiro, and many have discussed him facing King, a first commander, or even Kaido. Both will be the toughest fight that Zoro has faced in the New World. However, I do not think that these two fights will kill Zoro, but it will be his master / arch nemesis, Mihawk. Oda has done a great job of setting up the battles at the end of the series, with Luffy facing off against Shanks, Arcuna and Blackbeard by the end of the series, each having a huge emotional impact on Luffy. And this is the same for Zoro, as from the start of the series, he's always wanted to be the strongest swordsman, and after his loss against Mihawk, he promised that he would not lose to another swordsman ever again. His fights throughout the series has expanded our knowledge on not only the difficulty that Zoro will have to face against Mihawk himself, but the actual powers of swordsmanship and haki, as you have seen this from Zoro's fight against Mr. One, cutting steel, foreshadowing Ryo and haki, the Black Blade of Shushri, and the legend of Wano and Ryuma being a perfect narrative block for Zoro when it comes to his development in Wano, and is most likely to be his awakening, and what is most likely to be his catalyst for awakening in post timeskip. For Zoro to die would have a great impact on the series, as it would give tension to the rest of the Straw Hats and the world of One Piece, as one of the major characters and arguably one of the strongest has been killed, and also it would be realism and a sense of irony, as a man we have followed since episode 1 fails to keep his promise to his beloved captain from all those chapters ago, would become one of the biggest moments in all of manga and anime history. Oda has always tried to stay away from deaths, only leaving that to one or two characters whose deaths changed the world significantly. This being Roger, Whitebeard, and Ace. By killing Zoro, it would have a similar, no greater impact, as this would have a more personal shock to the audience compared to the other three just mentioned, as killing him would be gut-wrenching, as his death would truly signify the near end of One Piece, 2 blows for the price of 1. Zoro has to die by Mihawk. Any other outcome would ruin the more than 20-year setup for this fight. The Mihawk-Zoro relationship has been beautifully set up, as their interactions have perfectly portrayed their opinions of one another, with both respect and a clear difference in skill, with Zoro always remembering the promise he made to both Luffy and Mihawk to never lose again, even going as far as to begging Mihawk to train him to have a worthy fight. We, the reader, have hyped their relationship and Mihawk himself, as his powers have truly been described as legendary, but we have seen very little. It would surely become a legendary battle befitting the end of One Piece. By the end of the series, the amount of emotional weight connected to each action will be at a all-time high. Any fight, conversation, or speech will be remembered and represented of that of legend. By the killing of a character as important as Zoro would crush the audience in terms of emotional impact. By the end of One Piece, it will come down to these legendary moments that will linger in our minds, that will linger in the minds of the audience, from Luffy becoming Pirate King, to Sanji finding the All Blue, to Nami mapping the whole world, to Brook meeting the Boon. All these moments that have great anticipation are nothing to compare to a fight that we have waited for 23 years now. And for this anticipation, the anticipation is so high, and the expected outcome would be for Zoro to win the fight. But to break those expectations by killing off Zoro would be a perfect ending to the tragic life of this swordsman, who always seems like he is just failing at the last hurdle. However, by the end of the fight, he will be recognized as a worthy adversary by Mihawk, and it would be one of the saddest moments in manga history, and also a proud moment, as his audience has seen the life of a proud swordsman who never gave up. Thanks for watching. If you want me to do more theory videos, just let me know down in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a nice evening. And always remember, Yoshikage Kira is better than Griffith.